Okay, our last slide for this particular lesson. So I want to give you some comparisons about the mortgages and that you might find associated with borrowing $150,000. So in scenario one, it's a 15-year loan. In scenario two, it's a 20-year loan. And in scenario three, it's a 30-year loan. In each case, you're going to pay monthly. So the annual interest rate, this is for this particular loan, but this is comparatively in terms of what they are. On a 15-year loan, you're going to get the lowest rate. In this case, they came up with 2.75%. In scenario two, 3.5%. And in scenario three, 3.63%. So what does that mean the scheduled payment is? Well, for a 15-year loan, the scheduled payment, just principal and interest, will be $1,017.93. For scenario two, it's $869.94. And for scenario three, it's $684.50. And you might say, well, wait a minute, I don't understand. You're paying less interest here for a 15-year loan than you are for the others, yet the payments are higher. Well, the reason the payments are higher is because of the total number of payments you make. For the 15-year loan, you only make 180 payments. So what that means is that you're going to divide the total amount, the interest plus the amount you borrow, only by 180. I say only by 180 because for a 20-year loan, you're going to divide by 240. And for a 30-year loan, you're going to divide by 360. And you say, oh man, I want the 30-year loan because I'm only paying back $684.50 a month. The other one, it's paying $500 more a month just about, or well, $400 plus more a month. But the other one is done paying at 180 payments. When they're done, you got another 180 to go if you choose the 30-year loan. But a lot of people will say, I can't afford the payment associated with a 15-year loan. And that's kind of up to you. But that means that for 30 years, you'll be paying for that house. And most people move after they've been in a house 5 or 10 years. And then you got to start a whole new mortgage again, which means it all becomes, all that interest, you start paying it again. On the 15-year loan, you pay a total of $33,000 worth of interest. On the 60-year loan, you pay almost $59,000. And for the scenario three, the 30-year loan, you're coming close to $100,000. So the entire cost, the loan plus the amount you borrow, for 15 years, you pay back $183,000. For 20 years, you pay back $209,000. And for 30 years, you pay back $246,000. So which one do you want to pay back? To me, I'd rather only pay $183 because that's going to save me $20,000 to $60,000. Or I could look at that graphically, and you can see here that on a 30-year loan, you're paying all of this money out here. You're paying all the way until you get to 30 years. Whereas the yellow loan, which is 15 years, you stop paying at the 15-year mark. This is labeled the interest remaining on the $150,000 loan. At the 15-year mortgage, you have no interest remaining. You don't have any principal remaining either. You've paid off the whole thing. The 20-year loan is a nice little compromise between the two, okay? And then the 30-year loan, boy, oh boy, that's a lot. And you can also tell by the height of the blue line compared to the yellow or curve that you're paying a lot more interest for a lot longer. Another way to look at it is this way. The relationship between principal and interest for a payment. In the beginning of your payment, okay, the blue is the interest. In the beginning of the payment, the overwhelming majority of what you pay is interest. And that stays that way for a really long time. And only when you get, this is on a 30-year loan, only when you get near to, say, the past 20 years, 22, 23, 24, are you paying a lot of principal off. So if you take a 30-year loan and then you go buy another house and you take another 30-year loan, you're paying all blue. The bank is making all of that money off of you. Personally, I think that's crazy. I don't want the bank making all of that money off me. I want to keep that money. So I'm going to do a 15-year loan, and I'm going to try to keep the house for as much of that 15 years as possible so I don't have to start another mortgage. And that's what we did. The first house was a 30-year loan, and I struggled through with it. But the second house was a 15-year loan, and we sold it after like 11 years or 10 or 11 years of that 15-year loan. And we had a whole lot of equity in the house. Equity is the part of the house that belongs to you and not the bank. All right, let's calculate the difference in the total amount paid on a 30-year mortgage compared to a 15-year mortgage. And let's just say you need to finance $250,000 at 8% interest in both cases. Look, you could get a really complicated formula and figure this out, but you just go online and you get a mortgage calculator. So here is for a 30-year term, you can see it right there, $250,000. The monthly payment, now this is not your mortgage. It doesn't include taxes. It doesn't include PMI. It doesn't include your insurance fees and so on. Just the principal and interest combined are $1,834 a month. And then if you do a 15-year loan, same $250,000, you'll notice the interest rate's a little bit lower because a 15-year loan will always have a lower interest rate than a 30-year loan. You're going to pay back $2,247 a month. So you're going to pay back a little bit over $400 extra a month. But the difference is at 15 years, you don't have any more money to pay, and the other one is still paying $1,834 a month. So for 15 years, you pay $400 more, but then for 15 years, you pay $1,834 less. I'll take that option every time, okay? The 15-year mortgage pays $413 more a month, but over the life of the loan, the 30-year mortgage pays back $660,240. The 15-year loan pays back $404,460. You save $255,780. Wouldn't you rather have that in your pocket than in the bank's pocket? And then, of course, there's equity in the home in the sense that if you take a 15-year mortgage, at the 10-year mark, you're pretty close to paying off the whole loan. But if you have a 30-year mortgage, you haven't made much of a dent at all in that mortgage after 30 years. Okay, so that's the end of our slideshow. The things you need to know to buy a house.